stream. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Let me just check to make sure that there is audio coming through. Okay, there is. That's good. Yeah. Yes. All right. Cool. Everything is perfect there. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. How's everybody doing? Good? Good. Alright, cool. Just gotta get this music going up. Alright, cool. We got two things that we're gonna get into tonight. We gotta talk about, you know, it's not like I want to. You think I want to talk about Elon. I don't really want to. I really like the guy. But because he made tabloid headlines today, apparently him smoking is what caused the stock, Tesla stock, to drop. Like, oof. I'm going to be harping on all these investors that were selling. Dropped at 7% today. I'm going to be harping on all of them. And be like, really, the guy smoking a little recreational cannabis, that is going to some legal, that's gonna cause you to sell your position in Tesla. Like, that's a no-go. Oh my gosh, man, what the heck? What's up, Trevor? Welcome to the stream, man. What up, Senor Nito Mosquito? Welcome to the stream. And hello, Slash, thanks for joining in, man. So crazy stuff to talk about, man. I don't even know, like, been reading about Schiller PE ratio and how it relates to the next 10 years in future returns. If you got an article, I'd love to take a look at it. If you could throw it up on Discord, I'd love to read it. Kind of talking about it. I was talking to my wife today about it. I was doing increased 8 point. It did. So wait, because all I was seeing was that it dropped, and that was basically it. But oh, it must have been on the 7th then, right? Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it is up 8.4% today. Wow. I thought it dropped. That was on Friday then that it dropped. Interesting. We're going to still talk about it. I feel like no. So it's Google's fault. You know how like Google sometimes sends you suggested articles to read? Well, they sent me an article saying that, or yeah, something like that, and I was like, what the heck? And then yeah, no, that was on Friday, I believe. Then it's whatever. We're gonna still cover it anyways. Yo, yeah, let me go ahead and click that. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna have to come back and read it. I'll probably look at it tonight once I get off stream. Let me go ahead and bookmark that. All right. It has been bookmarked. So I'll make sure that it works out. Me and my wife were talking about gold and silver today, and we were talking about, or I was, because I've been reading. So here's kind of my thought process behind doing a lot more looking into like gold specifically, is that you know, a century ago we had this thing called the Great Depression. And so I was looking, I've been trying and I've been really wanting to do a lot of research on what sparked, what were some telltale signs of the Great Depression, like all that kind of stuff. And to see, because, you know, history repeats itself. So I'm wondering, like, well, maybe we're just in this cycle, like, you know how it's like, oh, well, every 10 years we have a correction. Like, well, maybe it's like, well, every 100 years we have a depression, like a Great Depression. So I've been wondering, like, maybe that's the case. And so I was reading actually this really, it was a decent article, I would say, that kind of talked about how, like, kind of walked you through what had happened at a specific point that changed the gold price. Basically from about the 1918 to about 1940-ish. And it was actually, like, I got about halfway through the article and then I went to sleep. But it's been a very, like, it's interesting because I guess for me personally, like, I don't look at, like, and go, like, I try not to look at it from the standpoint of, like, trying to find a view that confirms my bias of that maybe gold will take off here in the next couple years. But I try to look for just, like, I kind of come from the history standpoint, like, is this happening today, and is this likely to happen? And I mean, sometimes I say yes and sometimes I say no. So it was kind of like, yes, this could be happening, but is it really happening to the degree that it was happening in the 1930s, early or late 1920s? I'm like, I don't know. So that's kind of the way that I was looking at. I don't know. I really like to do research like that. So historical research is pretty fun for me, especially based upon, like, history, and because maybe that has the opportunity to repeat itself, you know. But let's go ahead and we'll jump into. Nobody will even know that we're talking about this a day later, but we'll go ahead and jump into that. How about we jump into that article review? Yeah. I think it's so funny, man, how the media just, like, went away with it. Yeah, this one was written on September 7th, my bad. They just basically, the media companies, man, they just, cobalt might take off if lithium cobalt batteries are used more. Huh. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and jump into it. How about that? Here we go. Let me just, okay, that one. Look at that car commercial behind it, because everybody's got to advertise. Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. If you're new, watching at a later date, this will be known as Keith Condensed. It's basically a little part of the live stream that I pull out and then re-upload later on. It's, you know, just like I said, a little cut out of the live stream. It's not the entire thing. We do cover other topics during the live stream, but this is specifically just the article review. And typically I review an article, I would say, about 5 days a week, maybe. I'm trying to, you know, cut it back a little bit, but I really have enjoyed the article reviews. It really keeps me informed on the market, and really kind of keeps me involved with what's going on in regards to the world. If you would like, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. I come out with videos pretty much every single day and live stream about 5 to 6 days a week. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. So today's article is specifically on Elon Musk. Is he a pothead? And he actually answers that himself. He says no, he's not. He's not addicted to it at all. Which, I mean, is not surprising. Cannabis is not really addictive in the fact that it's chemically addictive. It's can be habitually addictive, but I mean, I think that's what he's getting at, is that it's not addictive to him physically, like habitually. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. This article is written by CNN, and I don't really care too much about CNN, but hey, whatever. Usually I focus more on Yahoo Finance or something like that. But you know, weed, whiskey, Tesla, and a flamethrower. Elon Musk meets Joe Rogan. So I didn't even actually get to watch the podcast. I've just been kind of catching up on articles about it. This article is written on the 7th, so it's about 3 days ago. But anyways, on the day that this, I guess, podcast was released, the Tesla stock dropped about 7%. Today it's since returned. But basically, you know, people are just scrutinizing and saying, hey, you know what, this is just another, like, notch on the bedpost for this guy. Like, he literally doesn't know how to run a company, let alone 5 of them. So maybe, like, he should step down from being the CEO. Like, he's going crazy, he's going mad, like he just doesn't know what he's doing, like all this kind of stuff. And it's like, let's go ahead and just take a step back and then kind of reassess. Like, the guy Elon has said that this has been pretty much his most stressful and like time-consuming and most like hard-working year that he's ever had. So obviously the dude is, you know, exhausted. By the way, here's a quick picture of him with his flamethrower from the Boring Company. How about that? That's way cool. So I don't know. Like in the article, he says, you know, it's hard for him. There's so many ideas that bounce around inside of his head that it's hard for him to, I guess, turn his brain off. Which I understand that, because sometimes, you know, struggling with insomnia, you kind of get that, where you're up late at night and everything just like hits you all at once, and you're just thinking about this and thinking about that and thinking about that. So I totally get that, but I mean, I don't know what it is to have that like every single day of every single week. But I mean, I completely understand it. So if he's, you know, having to use some pills that will help him fall asleep that are prescribed, then by all means, like, you gotta sleep, you know what I'm saying? If your brain's not shutting down correctly, then, you know, you gotta use some kind of resource to be able to help that. And I would say maybe for him, because he doesn't have time to go like practice meditation or something along those lines, then this would probably be the next option. However, maybe he needs to become less busy. And here he also gets some comments about some cannabis stuff. He says smoking is like a cup of coffee, but in reverse, which I slightly agree, slightly disagree. He also touches on that, you know, neighbors aren't going to be happy with flying cars. That's why he's, you know, in the Boring Company. That's why they're talking about going underground. And he basically says that he would love to do it at Los Angeles because they have just a crazy nightmare of traffic. But basically, it's going to be like never going to happen in Los Angeles because they're unwilling to change and try to work with them to make that happen. And then artificial intelligence. I think that this is probably the last part that me specifically, I'm so interested in artificial intelligence. If you can't beat it, join it. And I don't know if you guys have followed Elon Musk like in the past, but basically he's tried his best to like tell the government, hey, you know what, we need to regulate this before it gets out of control. And pretty much it's just fell on deaf ears. So he's pretty much said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and start a company called Neuralink, and guess what, we're going to, instead of trying to beat it, we're going to join it. And so basically in the next like couple of months, they're supposed to release some news about computers having a physical connection to the human by electrodes that are implanted into the brain. So this will be, I guess, kind of some interesting topic, because from my understanding, this is something that has basically never been heard of before, and so, or maybe never even possible. And so I think that Elon Musk is kind of like leading the front of it. Is like, hey, you know what, let's just get there first then. But as far as like to get back into like specifically stock, I said we look at him with the flamethrower on the Joe Rogan show. No, to get into like specifically Tesla stock, like if I feel bad if you were one of those people that sold because you watched the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk being Elon. Like, not every day do you put on a hat and walk around and, yes, you are the CEO of Tesla. I totally understand that. But that's not every single waking moment that you're the CEO of Tesla. Like, you know, you have the job. Like, I mean, ultimately the responsibility does fall back onto your shoulders, but the guy should cut the guy some slack. He should get some time to just let his hair down and be Elon for a little bit. Like, you know, you don't always got to be the suit and tie CEO exec. Hey, I run Tesla, one of the best car companies out there that, by the way, only creates electric cars. So, stick it to him. So I feel bad if the only reason that you invested was because Elon Musk was not a cannabis consumer, and now you found out that he is, and so you sold your shares. Like, I guarantee you that was the worst speculative reason that you could have ever invested into Tesla. And I know that if you sold off of basically some news that he was on a podcast with Joe Rogan, smoking a little bit, then, like, why did you invest in them to begin with? Like, did you take that into consideration when you dropped them? No, because you just dropped it like it was hot. Anyways, we'll go ahead and leave right there. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think that Elon Musk has gone mad? Do you think that Tesla stock will continue to rise, drop, or just stay exactly where it is? What's the future hold for Tesla moving forward? Feel free to let me know down in the comments. Anyways, it's your boy, Coach Keith. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Wow, I really had a mouthful there. The market crashed into 1929 because people were buying stocks on margin, among other things. A huge bubble inflated by debt. I mean, a lot of people are buying on margin right now, though, so... Here's my thought. Let me go ahead and get back to full screen. So there was margin buying. The feds also increased the interest rate, kept on increasing the interest rate, and then businesses that were taking out loans to just, you know, be in operation, they couldn't pay back their debt because they weren't making enough money, and people were basically taking their dollars and buying gold because I believe at that point the dollar was like really strong, and they were like, okay, like we're gonna start pulling our money to buy gold or something. I think like from what I was reading, that's what it was. I'll go ahead and post my link up in the Discord. Yeah, that's hard to believe about Neuralink. One, our understanding of the brain is still not advanced enough. I totally agree with you there. Two, medical regulators will view this as treatment, which it isn't. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm kind of like, I mean, I guess for me, like, I'm just interested to hear what exactly the news is. But other than that, like, I like the fact that almost all of Elon's stuff, as far as like technology goes, is pretty much open sourced. Tesla stock will go back up for sure. Yeah, I think that, like, as soon as you gotta think about it, man. Ford, Dodge, Chevy. I mean, Chevy should have went out of business. I think that was completely. I'm still dumbfounded that instead of they gave. I mean, okay. Let me go ahead and find out how much money they actually gave. All right. So, here's my thoughts, comments, criticisms about the GE belt, or not the GE belt, the General Motors belt, is that they were given $13.4 billion And then on top of that, another $4 billion. So in total, basically $17.5 billion. Right? And right now we have about, I would say, 326 million people in the United States. So you got 17. Here you guys go. Check out this math problem right here. Let's see. I need another zero. Let's see. There's thousands, millions, billions. Right there like that, okay? And then we got 325 million. 26 million. Did I just do that right? I feel like I didn't. I'm just gonna go to my spreadsheet here. It's way easier for me to do it in Excel, even though you guys can't even see it, just because I can count squares in here. That's where all these numbers come from. Here we go. 17. Oops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Basically $52 a person. But what I'm saying is that maybe if they took this $17,000 or $17 billion and gave it to, say, and split it up and gave it to each, maybe like small businesses. There's got to be less small businesses than population in America. We'll say that maybe it's like about that 3 million small businesses, and gave them a $5,000 loan. I don't know. Maybe we would have a better. Maybe we would have had another company that would have done better than Chevy. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I think it's dumb to try to predict. I think it's dumb for the government to try to predict the future by giving out money to businesses that have already failed. And so that's all I got to say about that. That's enough of my rant on Chevy. I don't. On select stocks, 75% was margin. No, that's crazy. Do you think that we're getting like? Do you think that? I don't think that we're at that level yet. But wow. Yeah, we'll have to. I'll have to share that article that I found that I was reading, in Discord also. Just because, I mean, personally, I don't think that it would happen, but I mean, I'd like to, be read up on it, and that's what I was kind of talking to my wife about. I was like, maybe there's some like telltale signs, and the stuff's been already put in place, and now we're just kind of going. But like, we've seen the telltale signs from back here. It's just that no one took time to like look at them. Besides the the people that are getting ready to make tons of money off of something like that. So, buying insurance or whatever. But yeah, I'll for sure love to read some more articles, man. I love reading up about the Depression. It's interesting, very interesting. But we're going to go ahead and get into the... let me go ahead and full screen this back. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to get back into the season video. Today we're going to be talking about... Well, I'm going to be setting up my stash pie. And then also I will be setting up my trash pie, and then also I'll be selling and going out how to transfer equities from one to the next. I know it was, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're just dumping money. And it's like that doesn't really work that well, but I'm debating on putting more into national because they seem to have a better valuation. Yeah, that's what you were saying last time, is that Vanguard expects international company stocks to grow quicker than the United States S&P 500 or whatever. Over the next 5 years. You're saying that they only expect the United States to do like 3% year over year or something. I think that's what you were saying, according to the Vanguard pages. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up to start recording, so I'll be right back. I keep going back and forth. That's the way that I am, man. That's why with my Robinhood account, I've been talking about changing those percentages for so long, and I'm like, I don't know if I should. Like, I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, do I change them? Do I not change them? Like, do I just like chill and see what comes of this, or I'll like actually make the changes? Like, I'm like, I feel like it's working right now, so like, why change it if it's not broken? But I know that I need to. Like, I just know that I need to. I haven't really. I just really haven't had the time to, like, I guess, be satisfied with what the percentages that I'm changing them to. So, what up, Lydia? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hey, everyone, what I missed? No, we were just talking about Elon Musk smoking up token. It's a tough decision because of the recent bad performance, but it may be why they will do better in the future. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I'm like, especially with gold and silver, like, I want to turn the percentage down, but like, then I also understand that it's like it's like literally so low right now. Like, I'm like, this is crazy how low this thing is. Like, you got me sitting back down to talk about it now. Like, gold is almost under. You guys can't see that, but gold is almost under $1,000. It's $1,200 per ounce right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in on that. $1,200. Are you kidding me? Let's go look at a chart, man. That's what I'm talking about. Show me a chart. Look at this. Look at this right here. 1351. Look at that. Look at this. It's just freaking going, man. Like, we about to be right where we were. We actually lower than that. That's what I thought. Yeah, we're lower than that. I mean, December 2016, man. That's where we. That's pretty much the lowest. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's gotta run. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's just so strong. Like, wow. Like, it's just been kind of this. I mean, that's 10 years. Like, where's 2008 right here? It's been pretty much doing decent though. Buy low, sell high. Everyone is buying the US dollar because they are afraid. Yeah. The enemy of a good plan is looking for a perfect plan. Yeah, Elon is everyone. Tesla stock went up. I know, that was cool. That basically corrected itself from yesterday. Like, it was like 7% down. Oh, okay, well, today we're going up 8%. Like, it's like, whatever. Like, yeah, cool. Like, great. Thanks for all those people that sold because they found out that Elon was was doing some recreational marijuana use on a podcast. Like, oh, like, is that not why you invested? Like, oh, did you think that you were? I don't know what you thought you were investing in, but oh, you mean you bought a car company and not, like, you weren't buying stock in just Elon? Like, I think that people with Tesla stock, they think like, oh yeah, I'm buying Tesla because of Elon. And it's like, no, Tesla is Tesla and Elon is Elon, and they're two completely different things. Yes, Elon does run Tesla as the CEO, but Elon could step away from Tesla and Tesla would still have to continue going as a company. So, does it I guess, does it really matter? So we are at basically where we were in 2010. I mean, we've been going sideways for a long time with a few up and downs, but whatever. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Let's go ahead and jump into. I'm gonna hit these cameras on real quick. Hit these cameras on. Let me just grab Audacity real quick. Get that recording. That's what I'm all about, though. That buy low, sell high stuff every day. Oh, really? I got rid of my script already? No, there it is. All right, that's the one that I need, and then I gotta pull up something over here. Boop, boop, doop, doop, boop, doop, boop. Organization, man. I gotta get organized real quickly before I go live, or before I start recording the actual episode. All right. Oh gosh, that can be at 100. This one can't be at 100. It has to be at, like, yeah, there we go. That's more reasonable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Tesla's on a quick way to get there. They're on the fast track, but that's all. That's what they've got a debt issue. I would agree there, but I don't know. I don't really care much for Ford either. They do pay a stellar dividend, but that's because their stock price has been just dropping like nobody's business either. So I'm not personally. I don't think cars are the future. I think that they're a means for right now, but I don't think that'll be the form of getting around. And if it is, it won't be the way that it is right now. Ford may not be so lucky if we go to a recession next time. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm gonna go fire up these two cameras. I'll be back. Ford has been really tanking really bad. Hopefully it recovers. The only thing it has going for it is the high dividend payment. Pretty much, yeah. That's what I was just alluding to. Yeah. All right, this one. I'm gonna go ahead and start recording here. We're recording. All right, cool. Wow, that is like so touchy, but I can't. Man. I guess I could turn down the gain on the back here just a little bit. But wow, that is like so touchy still. Maybe like right there is better. Wow. I was like peeking in the red. How is it for you guys? Has it changed? I can turn it up quite a bit for you guys on the stream right now. So I think that'll be a lot better for you guys. And then I got to go ahead and start recording over here. And we're going to go actually pull up that right there. And let me just get on the screen. There we go. Okay, cool. I think that everything is working now. All right, awesome. Dividends are eating into its value. If they want to retain value, they need to cut the dividend. Yeah, but they don't want to. And I'm going to scoot this just out here, just out of range of the monitor. This is episode, wow, 184. Here we go, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 184 here on season number 2. And today we are getting into how do I move stocks / equities from one M1 pie to another. So these videos are meant for educational purposes only and not meant to be taken as financial advice. You are responsible for your assets and to properly protect them. So always, please, do your own research. So as part of my M1 finance strategy or my M1 strategy, I have a stock pie, a REIT pie, a total bond fund, and then also this fourth little pie called my trash pie. It actually only makes up about 1% of my overall portfolio, or eventually it should, but it still is important. And the reason why it's important is because basically when a stock drops below that 90% analyst rating, that 90% buy analyst rating, I go ahead and move it from that stock pie into that trash pie. Well, hypothetically speaking, of course, I have not had that happen until this month, where I needed to move a stock from my stock pie to my trash pie. This month I had two, actually this month I had two investments that dropped below that 90% analyst rating that were in my stock pie, and so I need to move both those into that trash pie. And like, to kind of backtrack, I thought it would be like simple. I thought it would be like just like a quick drag and drop into the trash pie. However, that's not the case. But real quickly, if you're wondering, like, why do I have a trash pie? It's because, for me personally, like, I don't want to sell my investments. I don't really see a need to sell them. Like, it's only the only holdings that are in that stock pie are based upon the analyst rating. So, like, yeah, it kind of gives me a little bit better educated guess. But, like, at the same time, like, those stocks that I move into my trash pie could potentially outperform my stock pie, and I would still be happy with it. So what that means is that I don't want to sell my position in my stock pie and then repurchase those stocks in that trash pie, because it's only going to make up about 1% of my overall portfolio. So I want to just directly move them without a sell. So how specifically do I do that? And that's the answer. No, that's not the answer. Sorry about that. Let me get back on the notes. I totally think I got off of them real quick. I already said that first. I thought it was drag and drop. So anyways, I fiddled around with the M1 platform and kind of like looked around and was, first of all, I placed just a sell on those two stocks. And then I realized, like, actually what that's going to do is by selling those within my pie is that it's going to rebalance the actual pie itself. So it's going to take, like, say I've got $60 invested into T-Mobile. It's going to take that $60 and it's going to get rid of T-Mobile, but then it's going to reinvest that $60 into those other stocks within that pie. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to take that $60 of T-Mobile stock and move $60 of T-Mobile stock into $60 T-Mobile stock trash pie version. So once I figured out that, like, I wasn't going to be able to do this, I thought all hope was lost. I reached out to customer support, and those guys are great. I mean, I've never had an issue with them, and by all means, like, they responded to me super quickly. I think it was within an hour, and I actually, like, hit them up through the app. So it was really, really cool that they responded so quickly. They basically gave me the unfortunate news that what I was trying to do was an impossibility through the app. Specifically, the transferring, so a drag and drop to a trash pie. They did come up with an idea of maybe I could sell the stock one day and then the next day transfer just the amount of money that I sold it for into a T-Mobile stock into that trash pie, which was kind of like my last resort if that were to come down to it. Like, worst case scenario is that I would just sell my $60 worth of T-Mobile and then go ahead and buy $60 worth of T-Mobile on the next day in that trash pie. And there wouldn't be much of a difference, but obviously there would be a little bit of difference. However, that wouldn't be a straight transfer. But then I went back and revisited the app like a few days ago, and this was on the live stream, and I guess, I mean, call it what you want, but I guess a little bit of serendipity kind of kicked in, and I found a solution to the issue. So anyways, let's go ahead and just take a look at the screen so I can walk you through exactly how to go about transferring basically one stock from one pie to the same stock in a different pie. So anyways, on the screen here, this is my M1 portfolio. So it's pretty simple. What you want to do is, so what I was actually doing is I was going in here and I was clicking edit, and then I would go to get rid of this, and I would click remove, right? Well, that would constitute a sell when I turned up, let's say, put another 5% here. That would constitute an overall sell. Like, I'll show you real quickly. And it's going to confirm it. Then I go to activities, and look, it's got 3 trades basically tomorrow, because I'm going to sell that T-Mobile and then I'm going to buy Google and Google, right? And that's not what I wanted to happen. So that was the issue that I kept on running into. Let me go ahead and get back in here and balance this. And we need to go ahead and actually add a T-Mobile in there. We'll just go put them back at 5% and put these back at 7 and click save. And that should basically get rid of the activity. Yeah, so no activity tomorrow, just dividends that are waiting for, you know, investments basically. So there is a way, a workaround to this. So basically what you do is you go into your pie and then you click on the actual T-Mobile. And then from there you click this buy sell, right? You click sell. We're going to sell, what do I have, a deposit pending. So my current value is $80.59 of T-Mobile. So we're going to sell $80.59 of T-Mobile. Oops. Boom. And we're going to go ahead and click confirm. And now we're going to go back to my portfolio real quick and go back to the stock. And we also want to get rid of Bayuzan because I don't want them anymore in there. We're going to do the same thing for them. We're going to go to sell. We're going to sell $55.26. So all my stock, we're going to close it all out. Then we're going to go back to my portfolio. And then we're going to go do my trash pie right here. And in here, you can see that I have T-Mobile and Bayuzan, right? I'm going to go to T-Mobile and I'm going to click buy. And in there, I got to figure out, first of all, how much I'm selling of T-Mobile real quick. I'm selling $80.59 of T-Mobile. So I'm on T-Mobile here. I click buy and I sell and I buy $80.59. And I click continue. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the next one, which is one sell of $55.26. I'm going to go back to my portfolio, click on my trash pie, not T-Mobile, Bayuzan, and I'm going to buy $55.26 worth, and I'm going to click continue, and then I'm going to confirm. Now watch this. When you go back to the activities tab, what happens tomorrow? There's no sells. Trades will only occur once you have $10 or more sitting in unallocated cash. You will collect unallocated cash as you gain dividend. Securities are bought and sold. You can also add money to your M1 portfolio. Put money to $10 to initiate trade. So as far as tomorrow activity goes, I'm selling and repurchasing that stock in a trash pie. Basically what it's doing is that it's moving from one pie to the next pie. So it's not selling anything. Basically all it's doing is just moving from one to the next. And this is kind of the way to go about it in theory. And so if you're like sitting there and you're like, why would I want to transfer maybe one stock from one pie to a next additional pie? And that's kind of my approach, is like, most people's portfolios, they're not going to want to do that. Most people are going to create maybe 1 to 2 pies that are completely different and let them run for a long time. However, say that you're like a growth investor, you have a growth pie, and then you also have like an income stock pie. So you have your growth stocks and then you have your income stocks. And say like a company that we've been covering a lot on my show is Starbucks. So you've been, watching Starbucks, and I've actually been covering a few articles where they talk about how Starbucks might not be a growth stock anymore and actually transitioning over to this value investing, or value, or not value, that they might be transferring from this growth stock to this income kind of stock. And so moving that stock from your growth pie to your income pie could be very beneficial if that's your strategy. And to go about that, if it's a taxable account, to sell off your gains at Starbucks and then to reinvest them back into a different pie, maybe you don't want to do that. And so how to go about that, this might be the answer to that. But anyways, we'll go ahead and leave right there. Let's jump into the question of the day real quickly, which is what would your strategy, hang on, let me just go ahead and restart that. What would be your strategy for surviving an apocalyptic epidemic? The tuck and roll. And he's like, I was saying, we've got a question regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, M1 Finance, as well as general investing, business, Etsy coaching. Please post those questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe right up here. Check out these 2 videos right here in the link. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Woo! That was good. Let me go ahead and stop this real quick. I think that did a pretty good job of explaining it. I hope. Let me export this real quick, and let me go shut off these other cameras. M1 fund transfer. We'll be right back. Alrighty, cool. Let me get back to the chat real quick. It seems like there was some popping off stuff. Ford has been tanking. Yes, okay, we got that covered. I have a few F shares, but once it bounces back, I'm selling it. Every time Ford pays out a quarterly dividend, their share price will drop 1.9% at its current level. That's true, yeah. Or 18 cents. Yeah, basically it should, yeah. If you like REITs, you should check out ABR. Yeah. I don't know if Gringos hasn't been here in a while, but he loves ABR. That's what he always talks about. I've heard they've been doing really, really good lately. 69 hours. Nice. Make it to 70 tonight. Okay, I'm here. Oh, you're at 69 hours. You're gonna make it to 70. Okay, I was like, whoa, what are we talking about? Like, are you leaving the right stream? Are you okay with taking losses? Yeah, I'll take losses. You have to be okay with taking losses. Yep. Or your stomach is going to hurt it about a lot. Yeah, I don't get this strategy. Tim, he isn't really selling. Yeah, no, I know, Slash. It will keep the same equity in those stocks. Why change pies? So every investor needs to be okay with taking losses. I've had losses, but I hate taking losses if I can avoid them. A lot of the losses I could have been avoided if I would have been more patient. Yeah, what up, Gestures? Welcome to stream, man. Good to see you. Oh, there's Gringos right there. Gringos has been MIA in my streams too. He's probably been gaming too much, man. I think he just wants to logically degrade it because it could be moved back at a future date if they upgrade it to a 90% buy. Yeah, so my strategy basically is that, you know how Robinhood has like a 90% analyst rating? I think I made a video on it, but basically the strategy, I don't really have anything more planned, so we can go ahead and get right into it. Basically my strategy, I'll pull it up. I'll run you through everything that's in regards to my strategy. Basically, so I have my stock pie, my REAT pie, and then my Vanguard total bond fund. So right now my Vanguard total bond fund is at 1%. This is an IRA, and so I'm planning on 59.5. That's going to be about 30 years. So basically every other year, I'll increase it by 1%, and then every other year it'll increase by 2%. So like next year it'll be 2%. The third year it'll be 4%, the fourth year 5%, the fifth year 7%, and I'll just keep increasing that one like that. And while keeping this ratio right here of an 84-14 split, I'll keep that same ratio and drop those accordingly while I adjust the Vanguard total bond fund. The trash pie comes along with basically the 90% analyst rating. So for instance on Robinhood, and I'll pull that up for you real quickly. By the way, I'm total like probably he's running that gaming laptop through the exactly, man. You got to run it through. So you go to 100 most popular. This is where I'm getting my stocks from, and then I go to the analyst rating right here, and so there's right now Cellforest, Alphabet, Amazon, Alibaba, and Cara Therapeutics. Right? Those are all the top. Anything over 90 or above is what I'm taking into consideration. So those all go into my stock pie on M1. From there, I break it down based upon their market cap, so it's all these, the percent of market cap, popularity, and then also analyst rating. Basically, is how I calculate the percent for each of these target stocks. And then from there, so we'll say like Bayuzan or T-Mobile. T-Mobile drops out of obviously T-Mobile's not 90% rated anymore. I don't even think that they're in the top 100 anymore. So they pretty much dropped out. That's why either they weren't in the top 100 or they're not 90% rated anymore. So they got dropped out. Well, I don't want to just sell. Music is too loud. Yeah, for sure. I can also turn up the mic a little bit as well. I just turned down the gain, so that should balance it out a little bit. And so from there, what I'll do is basically I'm going to be moving this one to my trash pie. I don't want to... Is it still pretty loud? I can check on stream real quick. Is this... Yeah, that song is really loud. Much better. All right, I just turned it down a little bit more too. I know sometimes like that's like the stream that I play music off of. It just gets so loud. So basically, I don't want to sell any. For instance, like this right here, that 55.26. I don't want to sell any. So all I'm doing is just moving it into a pie that's basically 1%, right? So this is 1% of my overall pie. So when I move both of that, it's basically probably like $120. When I move that in there, well, my overall account right now is $965. So it's going to be about 10% right now. Well, when I go make another deposit, it's not going to even add anything into that trash pie. It won't add any money in there because it's not balanced. My portfolio is out of balance. It would add all that money basically into that stock pie, specifically Google. There's just a delay now. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's basically it. I want to keep the holding without selling it, but I also want to be able to, like, I don't want to put more money in there, and so that's why the trash pie came about. And so eventually, like, you can only have 500 holdings in a pie, I think it is. So eventually I'll just add another pie if I get over 500. But my whole point is that if it's in that trash pie, then I won't be having to buy more of that stock. Like, so I won't be dollar cost averaging everything. It'll just be basically like, hey, you know what? You've got the best dollar cost average you could for the analysts buy, and then now it's not worth buying anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and drop it down to that trash pie and let it run its course. We'll see where it goes, right? So that's kind of my approach to specifically that. This account, this is kind of just like, I guess, interesting the way that I'm running it, because all my other accounts are quite a bit different. Everything as far as like percentages and keeping everything in balance is pretty much the same. The only thing that's different is just where I'm getting like my stock picks from, and this would be from Robinhood based upon an analyst rating. The other ones with Stash, it's just how like I use my brain, and I'm like, this is where I think the market's going, read articles, that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to pick as far as ETFs go for now. And then also with Robinhood, I do a little bit more fundamental analysis to pick those stocks. So it's just kind of up in the air for sure. But I think that this will have success eventually. Like right now, it's been a struggle because my original deposit was like $1,000, and so a lot of like my core holdings, like Amazon right now, sits at 44.8%. Well, that's about $363. So there's not. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Also with that, I probably won't. I guess that would be something that I haven't really addressed yet, and it's something that I've thought about, but I haven't really I guess put a whole lot of thought about when would I sell. Probably what I'll end up doing is if a stock stays in my trash pie for like a year, or if it stays in there for 2 years. Then I'll just go ahead and close that position after like 2 years or after a year. I'll just go ahead and close it and walk and get rid of that one. That's kind of what I'm thinking with my trash pie. Whether it's up, whether it's down, it'll just basically be like a time frame. You got a 2-year window to perform. You got a year window to perform. You got a 3-year window to perform, something along those lines. And then after that, you're cut, gone. See you later. Don't come back, Jack. That's kind of the way that I think that I guess seems the most reasonable as far as like when to sell. That way it's not based upon whether it's going up, whether it's going down. It's basically based upon a certain time period, and that's no bull. How is your Robinhood portfolio doing? It was up. Like right now, it's not doing well. I think actually today, the last week, it's probably doing pretty good. Yeah, put them in a timeout in your test pie. Yeah, and then you move them into your trash pie. So over the last week, I'm down about 1.3%. Super heavy involved into gold, so that's why a lot of gold has been just hurting me lately. Over the last month, though, up about 1.6%. And over the last 3 months, down a little bit. Over the past year, up about 15%. So, not too bad. But yeah, like my gold stocks have just been dropping, like, and it's like literally I feel like I keep on buying more and more and more and more and more of them. Like this one right here, I think I've covered this one. Ring, like look at this. This is where it was 3 months ago. It was at 17, almost $18 right here, almost at high of $18 on June 14th. It's now down to $13.59. My average cost per share is $16.62, and basically I keep on buying because it just keeps on dropping. And so I know that eventually it'll probably swing back around. So it's just kind of like one of those things, like just hold out. Like last share I bought was $14.25, literally less than a month ago, and it's now dropped almost a whole another dollar on top of that. Yo, gestures, cool as toast. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't even know if that really came through. But yeah, so that's how the pod's doing. Put them in timeout. Yeah, exactly. So everything is a-okay. Robinhood's definitely not my best performing portfolio right now, and it's kind of, for that one I would say I'm pretty diversified. So I've got probably about 25 to 30 different holdings, and hosting on Twitch too, man. Yo, thanks. So about 25 to 30 different holdings on my Robinhood portfolio, which is quite a bit. So, and I would say I think 5 or 6 of them are ETFs. So there's just a lot of slowness on that. 15% is good. You're beating the S&P 500. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's not that great. I would like to see it higher than that. But I'm satisfied with 15% over the last year. We'll see what happens. There's been a lot of good investments that I've made last year, and I just haven't released that video, but it's like my top 3 holdings on Robinhood. I recorded it, but then I lost the video, so I got to re-record it or something like that. But yeah, it was really like I would say, like there's cannabis stocks that I bought a year ago from January that one of them has done like almost like 150% return, and the other one has done I want to say like probably like 50%. And then also I bought a Puerto Rican bank stock, I want to say in October, and that one's basically done like 50% for me as well. So there's like a few of those that I think are like the backbone of the portfolio, and then the other ones are just kind of like slowly doing their thing. We'll see how they do. A lot of them have just been fallen, but it kind of happens. I think that this year, I don't know what specifically I'm going to do, because I've honestly been enjoying the the idea of like holding ETFs versus holding single stocks, just because I don't really have as much time anymore to like go through and like really like read 10Ks and look at stocks and be like, look, like this is a good investment, this is not a good investment, like that kind of thing. And so I've been kind of floating more towards the ETF side of it, but I haven't really made a commitment just to go all ETFs. And I really, with Robinhood, I've liked the idea of just S&P 500 up around 20% over the last year, with dividends including starting December of last year. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that I didn't beat it. That's because I was, then that would make sense. I think I'm about 15% invested into gold and silver stocks, so that would make sense that there was that kind of drop. About 15%. I don't know. That's, I mean, 15% I'm still happy with. I'd like it to be higher though. But for me, it's a learning experience. Like, I use Robinhood more. Robinhood, when I first started out, I day traded on it, or tried to, and then I moved into swing trading, and then now I've kind of moved into like long-term investing with it. And it's just, with Robinhood, it's more, for me, it's always been fun money. That portfolio specifically, like Stash and Acorns and M1, those ones are going to be the ones that I'm focusing in on for specifically like keeping it safe and like making sure that those returns come in, which is why I typically hold a lot of ETFs on those ones. But with Robinhood, it's like, let's have fun. Like, this is basically like what I've told my wife is like, you know, I get 26, like I could pay a subscription on a video game or something like that, $26 a month. I could have a Netflix account for $10 and then do this for another thing. I gotta go to sleep for sure. Talk to you later for sure. See you later. And so basically I'm like, look, instead of paying, you know, for Netflix and for this and that, like, look, I'll just take my $26 a month or $2 or 2 bi-weekly deposits of $13 and put it in the stock market and hopefully have fun with it. Like, that's kind of the way that's been my approach since day one of opening my Robinhood account. So when it becomes not fun, that's when I'll probably stop using Robinhood. But for right now, it's still fun and I enjoy it. So I'll just keep on doing what I've been doing, which is why I have a position open on Snapchat right now for a swing trade. You probably hold many stocks that represent the market. Yeah, I would say so. Like, I think that's probably close. Not a bad sign. Nah, that's what I'm thinking too. I would just like to be better than, you know, the market return, the average, but it's all good. But like, yeah, that portfolio is really diversified. That's what I'm saying. So for me, like, that's Robinhood. It's $26 a month to have fun. Stash, Acorns, those ones are $40 a month each, and it's for me to save money, and hopefully, you know, eventually have enough to go get an investment property or whatever. I'm going to sleep now. Yo, see you later, Trevor. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, we'll probably be wrapping it up here shortly also. So anyways, but that's pretty much all I've got to say. It's really cool that I finally got this account figured out. Now I got to let these T-Mobile and Bayozun sell and repost, and then from there I'll be able to adjust my percentages, and then everything should be a-okay. I just want to make sure real quick that I had it updated from the last time, that I actually saved it. But yeah, so anyways, I think that we're going to go ahead and end stream right there. I'll keep it up for about another 2 minutes if there's any other questions. If not, then we will go ahead and jump off here. And it looks like right here, M1. Billy. Is that your plan? Save for? I mean, I would say save for a down payment on a house first for us. It would be cool if we could get like a house that was like a duplex or something like that we could maybe rent out part of it. But if not, then it's just, yeah, save for a house or save for a down payment on a house or whatever it may be. See, like, technically, when I did this at the very beginning of the month, Billy was up here. But now he's not up here. Right here, this one. They lost the analyst rating on that one. it said, oh no, we don't have an analyst rating anymore. But since it was there at the end of the month on the 31st, then I'll go ahead and consider it in there. And I believe that I also already did adjusted percentages. Yeah, so there we go. Everything is great. That's exactly what we wanted. Cool. Yep, so I'll just go back, adjust the percentages, and everything will be perfectly fine. Being a layline may have its own challenges. Yeah, that's kind of like why I might not do it. Coach, I won't be live on Smite in the morning. Going to be working on my MT response video for this team I'm trying to get recruited into. Yo, for sure, man. Have a good one. That's a way better, I think, investment on time. For sure. I've thought about that. Yeah, that was kind of my thought too. But I do I have been watching a few videos, and it seems like it seems like they do fluctuate quite a bit. But it seems like it's better to go through a like a management company for the property, and then instead of you trying to landlord it yourself, like being a landlord, like for sure, but going through a management property. So that way they make sure that they get paid, so that way you get paid. I think is the way to go about it. Even though you take typically a little bit less return on your investment, I think that it's a lot easier for you to make back that money, kind of thing. So that's my approach, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't have that much yet. I have about $10,000 under management, so. I've been watching you be the best Amaterasu, however you spell it, out here, out there. Night, guys. See you later, Gestures. Get some sleep, man. Enjoy your night. But anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. Yeah, they do fluctuate quite a bit, but that's right. That's why I'm doing it once a month at the very end of the month. And then after that, like, there's just no changing it during the month. So even if something else gets happen, make sure you all drop a like. Coach only has 2. Yeah, man. For sure. I think that they've been just slacking. If you don't want to go into debt. Yeah, that's another thing that I've also considered, just going heavy into some REITs. So I guess in the future, like, there's quite a few things that we have to consider. But for right now, it's just kind of like we'll just let our eggs lay where they've been laying, and we'll see where they hatch. But we'll go ahead and leave right there, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that joined in. Slash, Gestures, Tim, Lydia, Trevor, and I'm sure that I missed a few. I don't know if Travis stopped by, but Senior and Travis, if you made it. But thanks, guys, for hanging out. I appreciate that. Anyways, I will see you all later. I'll be on tomorrow morning playing some games, and then tomorrow night we'll be back talking about investings. Anyways.
Go! trace of the night on the way back down from the sky where you left my soul. Can you help me fly? I can't resist, 'cause you have got a hold on me. And all these thoughts, when you are here, you light up the dark sides to live in the night shine. You take my life and light every side. You fade the dark inside. The living night shines. Trace of the night on the way back down from the sky where you left my soul. Can you help me fly? I can't resist, 'cause you have got a hold on me. And all these thoughts, when you are here, you light up the dark sides to live in the night shine. You take my life and light every side. You fade the dark inside. The living night shines.
When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together. start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over.